Judicial Watch has released the FBI 302 interviews of former Justice Department lawyer Bruce Ohr that prove critical information about the political bias of the author of the Steele dossier was withheld from the FISA court. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton tells One American News the 302 documents break open the Spygate scandal that criminally victimized President Trump. One America's John Hines has more from Washington.
You've gotten some information. These 302's have been released, and of course they pertain to Bruce Ohr and a little bit about his wife Nellie Ohr, who worked for Fusion GPS. Talk a little bit about 302's and talk about what they are and why they're significant, because some more casual observers may not understand the significance.
Well, 302 reports are created by FBI agents to document interviews they have with targets or witnesses in cases they're running.
Because the FBI doesn't make tapes, as I understand it, right?
No.
Or transcripts, I guess.
And they oftentimes they rely on notes or their memory that go back later and create a narrative report of their interviews. And in the case of Bruce Ohr, just think about this. He's a senior Justice Department official, and he's a witness being interviewed by the FBI about his communications with the Clinton gang over at Fusion GPS and this foreign spy.
What did you learn from these 302's about Bruce Ohr's role in the Russian collusion hoax?
Christopher Steele, the British spy who was working for Fusion GPS, who had been hired by the Clinton campaign and the DNC, was getting money also from the FBI during the 2016 campaign. He eventually was cut off just before the election because he was leaking. So after the election, the FBI says, well, let's use Bruce Ohr to get information from Christopher Steele about Russiagate and Fusion GPS. Bruce Ohr is communicating with Christopher Steele, Fusion GPS. Bruce Ohr tells the FBI that Christopher Steele, it's pretty clear, didn't like President Trump and didn't want him to see him as president, and was adamant in that regard. And he was conveying Fusion GPS data directly to the FBI that was handed to him by, it looks like, Fusion GPS. His wife, Bruce Ohr's wife, also worked for Fusion GPS, so he had this conflict of interest. Nevertheless, he takes his wife's research from Fusion GPS. The headings saying it's from Fusion GPS are stripped, and he gives that to the FBI as well. The documents also show that Fusion GPS, the Clinton camp, was working with the Obama State Department on this whole Russia attack on President Trump as well. So you've got the FBI, Justice Department, the State Department, working with the conflicted Bruce Ohr, his wife Nellie Ohr, and the Clinton spy ring at the Fusion GPS, all to get President Trump. This is the coup in outline. Incredibly, you see documentation in these FBI 302 reports that Bruce Ohr was talking to Christopher Steele through the infamous WhatsApp application.
Talk about that.
Well, WhatsApp, I guess, is an application that allows you to communicate more securely. I guess it's not perfectly secure, and then delete the communications quickly and easily.
Is this something that the FBI would not have access to? So in other words, he would be avoiding detection.
You know, why would a DOJ official use an application like that to communicate with a witness?
Is this evidence that could be used to bring charges against individuals, do you think? Would this be material, to use a lawyerly phrase?
To me, this is key information for prosecutors if they're trying to figure out if there's anything, for instance, improperly withheld from the FISA courts.
And what you're saying is essentially it proves that there was information that was withheld from the FISA court.
Certainly, when you look at these
material information,
you look at these 302's and then compare what's been released in the FISA applications that Judicial Watch also obtained under the Freedom of Information Act, you'll see a lot of the detail doesn't make it in.
You are smiling a little bit because I think that you feel that you guys have cracked the code here, or maybe is this a smoking gun? I mean,
yeah. I mean, look. There's been news out there that Christopher Steele obviously hated Trump or warned everyone about it. We knew Ohr's wife worked with Fusion GPS, but to see it dramatically illustrated and confirmed in FBI documents. So there's no plausible deniability the FBI and the Justice Department have about the corruption that's been uncovered about these relationships and motives.
So you got the goods.
These are the smoking guns, that's for sure. And from what we understand, more is coming.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.